Hey friends, it's Kristen here. I am dehydrating some cilantro today, and I thought it'd be a great opportunity for me to show you a couple of tools that make it super easy. So if you're like me, when you have a recipe that calls for fresh herbs, I do a lot with fresh parsley and cilantro, you need a couple of sprigs, but then you have that whole rest of the bunch that ends up going to waste because I never have enough recipes that I'm going to be using that up. And I just hate to be wasting food. So that's where the air fryer comes into play. And the Pampered Chef one has a dehydrate setting. So it's perfect for, of course, you can dehydrate, fruits and vegetables. That's what most people think about, but I love to do it with fresh herbs. So wanted to show you a couple of things, but just before, because I'm going to forget otherwise if I don't show it to you now. Once you dehydrate your fresh herbs, so here's some cilantro that I did a while back. And once you take all the moisture out of it, just like the dehydrator is going to do, you're left with dried cilantro. And this would be just the same as if you bought some dried cilantro in a jar, but so much fresher because it's not been sitting in a jar on a shelf for who knows how long. So you're still going to get some great flavor out of this, even though it is dehydrated. And because it is dry, it's going to keep forever. You don't have to worry about it going bad. So once I dehydrate it, I put it in a little baggie, or if you have some little spice jars or something, you can put it in there. But this is just a great way to get your full money's worth out of that cilantro, and not just your money's worth, but you're going to get so much better flavor out of it, even when you're using it dried. So that's what that's all about. But the other tool that's super handy is this new guy. This is a nylon knife, so it's serrated, makes it nice, like if you need to cut into cakes or brownies or anything that's like on a nonstick pan that you don't want the true serrated sharp blade cutting up the pan or cutting up the coating on there. Like I like to, like if I have a cake on our cake stand, I don't want to put a sharp knife on that because it's gonna scratch up my cake stand. So that's where this comes in handy. But then it has all these little holes here, and these are herb strippers, so you can kind of dual purpose with this. So if you're doing kale, that's where you're going to use this largest hole, put the stem through there and then pull, and you're going to get the leaves off, all the way to tinier things like we're going to do with the cilantro. So you just kind of find whatever hole fits best, which we're kind of in the middle there, and then just pull that through, and you can see how it pulls the leaves right off. There they are, and just put those onto our tray for the air fryer. If you're going into a fresh meal right now, you could just strip these right onto your casserole or whatever you're doing. But really, it's just quick and easy and fun, kind of mindless. I just kind of get into it. It's like I could do a whole package of cilantro super duper fast, just because it's kind of fun, and your mind can kind of wander, think about your recipe or whatever you're doing. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and do a couple more here while you guys are watching. Whoops, that one was a little limp. If they are a little limp, so again, I've been storing these, then they don't work quite as well. So the fresher the better. So you do want to catch them when they're fresh. Go ahead but there you go. That's a good one. It's always so satisfying when you get one that works really, really well. But look at that. Is that not quick and easy? And this would even be something fun. You're not dealing with any sharp edges or anything. Let your kids get involved. Let them help you with this. This is a totally fun kid's job. While you're doing other things, they could be stripping the herbs. Okay, just have a couple more going. And I have another whole tray that I went ahead and did before I started the video. And so the air fryer does have trays, as you're seeing me use. So if you're doing like the herbs, something like that, the trays are handy. If you're using it as a traditional air fryer and you're doing something messy, let's say you've kind of coated your own chicken tenders, things like that, and they're messy, you're going to want to use the trays to lay that out so that they're going to get that air all around it and they're going to get nice and crispy. But this also comes with, let me show you this rotisserie basket that you can use like if you're doing French fries or pizza bites or things like that, where it's going to rotate that around. So it's really nice with this air fryer that you have that flexibility of whether you want to use shelves or whether you want to use the rotisserie. Some you either have just shelves. Oops, these are kind of limp here. Some you have just shelves or just, you either get just shelves or just the round, whereas ours has that, the choices. Okay, so here we go. We want to even these out. So I have a little more on that first tray. So, and you want to do, as best you can, just thin the layer. If you pile it up too much, it's just not going to dehydrate as evenly. So you're going to put this on the tray and put this in your air fryer. Going to spread these out. Takes about 2 hours. It's going to cook on a low setting, like 100 degrees. It's a preset. And it's just going to pull all that moisture out and leave you with your dehydrated herbs. So all you do is put that in there, and then you're going to turn the dial. Now, this has a number of different settings. I had mentioned dehydrate today, which is what I'm doing. So again, you can do fruits, you can do vegetables. I love, like, again, just like the herbs were getting bad and I wanted to preserve them. Let's say you had like some strawberries that were starting to get bad and you're like, what do I do with them? Go ahead and slice them. Cup slicer works really, really well. Or if you have a mandolin, slice them nice and thin, lay them out on these trays, and then they're going to dehydrate. And then you have like little strawberry candies. So the dehydrate setting is one that a lot of people don't realize how much they would use it or need it until they have it. And then they really do enjoy using it. Also has a reheat setting. That is my favorite for leftovers, reheating pizza and fries and nachos and things like that, getting them nice and crispy as if they were, fresh, but they're leftovers. Rotisserie setting, I had mentioned, that's where you're going to use that basket, or it also comes with a rotisserie spit. So you can put like a whole chicken or a pork loin or a pork tenderloin or a tri-tip steak or something on there, and it's going to rotate and just get all delicious and nice, get that nice roasted on the outside, tender and juicy on the inside. And again, it's just push the button and let it go while you're doing the rest of your meal. Also then has roast and bake and air fry. So those are your three other kind of like oven settings. So air fry is your hottest temperature, and it's also the most airflow. So that's the whole idea of air fryer. Of an air fryer is the airflow around all the food, so that it gets it really nice and crispy. So it has the air fry setting, but then if you want a lower temperature or less airflow, like more like just having a little mini oven as opposed to heating up your big oven, you can cook like small portions in here as well. So it has all these settings. It comes with a user guide that helps you, introduce you to all these settings. But it just gives you a lot of flexibility and a lot of things that you can do with this. This is one of those tools that's probably going to stay on your counter because you're going to use it so much. So let's go ahead. All we do now is just turn the dial till it comes to dehydrate. The automatic setting, it's 130 degrees. I said it's going to be a really low setting. Because these are so small and there's not a lot of moisture to them, I really just need the 2 hours. That's in my user guide. So again, back to how do I do this or how do I know what to do? Refer to your user guide because it tells you how to do your fresh herbs. 2 hours on the dehydrate setting, just push the button and off it goes. And in 2 hours, it'll beep, tell me it's done, and I will have those dried herbs. So I hope you guys like this little introduction to a new setting on the air fryer. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Happy cooking.